Hi everyone. So today I want to show you a few things that I've been working on this week. So we have a new one-on-one meeting page that is, as the word suggests, it is specifically designed for one-on-one meetings. It also has screen sharing, so we will look at that. And yeah, so let's just uh, look at the one-on-one meeting page. So I have already, by the way, I think I have already configured the, yeah, so inside my let's talk.flt. So if you don't know, this is how you override your default meeting page. So this time what I've done is I have created this meeting page component, which is supposed to override the default meeting page that comes with the let's talk package, the let's talk.fifra.site package, right? So in here, what I'm calling is one mp dot one on one meeting page or one dash one meeting page. So what is that, right? So this is coming from the let's talk package. So there is a one on one meeting. I am saying one on one, but it is one dash one. So bear with that. Yeah. So as I was saying, so last week I had introduced this meeting page. So I will link to that video in the description. But this time, what we are looking at is a one-on-one meeting here. So let's see what the difference is here. So I'm going to create a new meeting. Let's call it YD demo. So as you can see, this is the loading state is pretty ugly, as you can see, because there was an undefined and the loading was at an unusual place. But yeah, so I have not improved that yet, but that is easy. Anyway, so as you can see, when I am in the meeting and nobody else is there, you can see I am on the right, very tiny video tile for me, right? So let's try to add someone to this meeting. So I've gone into an incognito window, and by the way, inside the incognito tab, you can see the same meeting page in the dark mode. So it also helps me
Helps me
verify
verify
how it is
how it
looking
is
in
looking in
the
the
dark mode.
dark mode.
So
So
yeah, so
yeah,
I
so I
can,
can
so this bug is still there. So when I first
first
do the
do
demo,
the
it the dimensions of the page actually break, but from the next time it's fine. So yeah, so as you can see, this is the one-on-one meeting page. So I am hidden behind this OBS webcam. So let me see. So yeah, so I this is the one-on-one meeting page when I'm not in the view. So as you can see, so when you are in the meeting, you will be in the bottom right in a teeny video frame, and the other guy, which is also me in this case, will take the entire screen or at least the entire available space in the main area, right? So I'm gonna bring myself back because if I forget it, I mean it's not important, but let's have it. Let's try to bring myself in the bottom right because that space is available. Yeah, okay. So, so this is the one-on-one meeting page. It also has screen sharing. So let's have a look at that. So I will share my OBS camera. I think it's fine. Yeah. So as you can see, when I am sharing my screen, what I see on the screen is not actually my screen. It just says that your screen is sharing. Because why would you want to see your screen? Obviously, if you do, you will have to come to the FTD land and create your own meeting page with the available pieces that we have created. So if you want that, we have that too, but the default is this, right? So let's go to the incognito window and see what we have there. So as you would expect in here, I can see the screen that is shared by the other guy, which is the which is also my screen. So I don't know how many Siddhants are on the screen. So there are three. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, there are more than three because inside of the OBS window. Anyways, there are infinite Siddhants. Okay, so there is also this on the left side, you get to toggle between available screen shares. So right now there is only one, But let's imagine that this guy is also has started sharing his screen, which is the same screen again. Now we can toggle between the other guy or my screen. But if I toggle on, if I go to my screen, it will say that my screen is being shared. Obviously, why would I want to see my screen? But you can at least toggle. Anyways, so the button UI is inconsistent. I'm sorry. We will fix it later. I was in a hurry. Forgive me for that. Uh, anyway, so this is how you switch. So right now here, even so by default, it stayed on the original setting, which was, so when I joined the meeting, I started first sharing my screen, so I got to see my screen. So it has persisted that setting, but now the other guys have started sharing his screen, right? So I can click on this guy and I can see his screen, but it is confusing because in both cases the screen is my laptop screen, but in real cases you this would be much distinctive and clearer. Anyways, so this is the meeting page. Things are looking fine, things are working good. You may have spotted a few inconsistencies here and there, but we will improve it over time. Anyway, so I can, why not just go ahead and click on this button to stop sharing uh, my screen. By the way, it does not switch, so that is a bug. I had to manually switch. This is a known bug because it, when you stop sharing your screen, the active participant, so I'm calling it an active participant. So whoever screen you are sharing at the current time is called an active participant. So the active participant does not get updated if you stop sharing your screen. So it is a known thing. This is outside the scope of the current work, but I will fix it in the future. So I had to manually click on that to change the view, but it's fine for now. I can even click on this native browser window thing to stop sharing for this guy, and I'm back to the original view. As you can see, when you go back to the original view, the it kind of breaks, right? So I could not find a fix for this, but the easiest thing is if you just retoggle your video, or anyone does this, right? Anyone in the meeting has to toggle their video for a split second. It is actually very rude to ask your users to do that, but this is the only fix for the very short time. Hopefully it will be fixed in the future. Anyways, so this is, I think it is very useful for a one-on-one meeting. If two people are in the meeting, they can obviously chat. They can also do pair programming, kind of. So they can, one of them or both of them can share the screen. Any one of them can choose to look at either of the screen. You may ask, what happens when there are more than two? Let's find out. So let's try to open another incognito page and let's see what happens. So hopefully it would only show two people. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It does that because
it
in
does.
code I have hard coded to only show the first participant, so there can only be you and one of the participant, whichever is the first in the list, right? So there are actually three people, as you can see at the top right. So there are really three people in this meeting, but you only get to see two of them at a time, and you cannot switch to the other participant. So there is no way to look at the third participant, but you can hear their voice. So they can talk, but you cannot see them. Same goes for, I think, I don't know what happens when they share their screen. So let's find that out too. Acha, so hopefully, yeah, this might, uh, I think I'm testing my browser capabilities too much by sharing a lot of screen at a time. But anyway, so let's try to also share the screen for the third time. So you may have seen when I click, so browser by default does this, that they will hide the video unless you do activity on the page. So this is to save battery and stuff. Huh. So at least you can, three people can screen share, which is really nice. You theoretically you could ask that in this view I could have also put the third guy's webcam in here, which would have been nice. But as I said, the goal was to scale it for only two people meetings. So, but I think it would be pretty easy to add a third guy in the meeting and it would scale for three or four or at least five, six people when they are setting the screen, right? When they are not, this moves me back to the designing the grid thingy, which I was trying to do last week and it did not happen. I mean, it technically did not happen uh, uh, how I wanted it to be. So uh, we will definitely have a flexible grid which is able to support n number of participants up to hopefully hopefully I don't know the scale would be, but at least 15 people. Anyways, so I will not make promises yet. So yeah, at least more people can be in the meeting, they can talk and they can share the screen. So this is working, but you can only see two people. So this is the state of it. I am now going to stop sharing everyone's screen and I am back to normal as again. I could have just if you do any activity, so I think even if you do that with a mic, yeah, so acha, this is already fixed, but the video is paused for some reason. So here it is not. Acha, in fact in here it is also. So anyways, so it is pretty good, I would say. Not the best, but it is good. So this is the new meeting page, right? I also wanted to talk about the site logo. So you may have noticed last week if you don't, go watch the last week video in the description. Anyway, so this logo is customizable now, right? So let me show you how. So I am going to close the dark theme. I think it's pretty much proved that the dark mode also looks good. Right, so let's go to let's talk. At the bottom, I have created this site logo thingy, right? So this site logo is so when you create a new website using the Let's Talk template, you would have this. And inside this package, you have assets and the logo. And this logo is the same logo as this. So by default, we are using the Let's Talk logo, which we would, why not? And you can obviously easily delete these two files, bring your own SVG files, and it would automatically pick that up. Or you can change that 3D file and call it my logo and create a my logo.svg in the file system and it would work, right? So this is how you customize your logo. Uh, uh, so why? So ideally, uh, I feel uncomfortable when my video is on the left, so I will just put it in the right place now that the meeting UI is not there. So yeah. So ideally what I would want to do is go to the design system. Design system also has a site logo, right? And override it here, just like I have already done, right? So this is how you override your site logo for design system and any package that is using design system, and hopefully your website too is by default using design system most probably. So everything would pick up this site logo. But sadly, this does not happen. If I go to the home page, as you can see, it did not pick up the Let's Talk. So there is a bug, right? When I specify the site logo here, Let's Talk, I just want to show that Let's Talk also has a ts.ftd. So my guess is that overriding a site logo here does not let the Let's Talk usage of design system get the overridden variant. So uh, it was a large sentence. I hope it made sense, but anyway, so I will file a bug report for this later. I did not have time to do that, sorry. But for an immediate fix, there is this workaround that at least with let's talk.fd inside here you can say a site logo and it will at least show the site logo on the meeting page, which hopefully is good enough because ideally inside of your meetings you would expect more people to come than on your dashboard where only admins of your website who are allowed to create a meeting would go. So hopefully this is a decent trade-off until we fix this, right? Anyway, so I think this is all that is contained in this PR. So this PR has already been open for 3 days now. So I will update the description, add this video link here, and hopefully we'll merge soon. And yeah, so so I also let's talk about this. So from from this week's work on Let's Talk, I have already added a one-on-one page. There is a workaround for site logo, so at least you have your logo on the meeting page. This was the goal. You may have noticed. So from the past few videos, I have been showing that there are two ways to override your meeting page. The first is this guy, which is you create a meeting page component that overrides the Let's Talk a meeting page, right? There is another way, which is to create a meeting page URL. If you have this, then any meeting that you create will be handled by my meeting page. So what you would do is create a my meeting page.mtd, and in here do everything like try to read the meeting ID from the URL, try to call initialize meeting, try to do any of the stuff, or you could just read the URL and call this component. So you could have done something like this, where this guy is coming from the request data processors. So I could alias it. So yeah, this is how you would get the meeting ID from the URL. You can use the one-on-one meeting page like this also, or you can create your own page with the by reading the source code of one-on-one meeting page or the old meeting page. So I am also keeping the old meeting page. So this is the old meeting page. It's there. It's not. I would recommend against using it. We may even, if we are not able to improve this, we might get rid of it in the future, by the way. Anyway, so you can look at the one-on-one meeting page source and you can pick stuff from this guy that you like or get rid of. There was also one UI thing that I think I, yeah. Right. So there is this context box, which is really interesting. So I forgot about that actually. So let's have a look at that as well. But so to complete the last sentence, you can look at the source and create your own meeting page. So those are the two ways to override the meeting page, right? Now the benefit of creating URL is you could think that you can have multiple URLs at a time. And let's say in your company, when you are talking to a tech team, you would have a separate URL for that and a separate meeting page UI for that, talking to your tech team. Let's say talking to your marketing team is another page, having board meetings is another page. So you could have multiple URLs, and this meeting page URL variable was basically a start to that. So right now you can only have one, but I was trying to create a UI form which would take a route at the time of creating the meeting, and then it would use that route for that specific meeting. But that did not happen. So this was actually in the goal of this week, but it did not happen. I would not go too much into explaining that because I also want to show you the new UI window thingy. But yeah, anyways, but know that it will be possible in the future. So let's have a look. So there is no way to toggle it, which is sad. I kind of forget about it. So let's see. Let's see. There it has to be a context box, and by default, it's not open. So let I can just change the code a hacky way. Go into the history, load the old meeting, and this is the context box. Is it says chat, which it should not have been, right? Anyway, so this is the context box. Now acha, this also looks, the icon looks bad in white. I will fix it after the recording anyways. So the goal of this thing is to be able to I think you when you click on it, it goes away. Yeah, right. So this mutable variable, you can, let's say, bind it to a button, and when you click on it, the box will appear. So the goal is it would render any child UI that is passed to it. So it is unfinished in this PR. I think I'm gonna let it be unfinished. Well, sorry. So I think so. Anyway, so I am gonna let it be just like this for now. But in future, this guy will have a will allow you to render any custom component. So let's say you are in a meeting and you want some transcripts or a prompt to read off of. Let's say you are conducting an interview and you want a list of questions to be embedded in the meeting view, but toggleable and also only available to you. You could do all of those stuff with this simple model, right? So this was just an idea that I was playing with, I and Minu, but yeah, so it did not happen in the PR. I think it's safe to not push it in this PR because nobody's basically asking for it. So I think we are safe not putting it out there, but the code is here. You would just have to, I would just have, I am actually being lazy here. So I could just add a child parameter to here and render that child, and that would basically be it. So anyway, so I'll think about it, but most probably it will not be part of the PR. Anyway, so but technically the code is also there, so it is already part of this PR. Anyway, so I will not waste much of your time now. The video is already pretty long. So this was all that I had to show today. Hope you like it. Uh hope you use it, right? Anyway, so this is the Let's Talk, and if you see any interesting things that you kind of wanna come and fix, the code is open and feel free to contribute. Yeah, so with that said, I will say goodbye now.